Hello YouTube, this is Step Ahead with Ernie Rivera. I am your host, Ernie Rivera. And today we're going to be talking about art school. How to pay for art school and would I do it again? Well, a lot of questions here. Let's start off with how to pay. Now, ideally, and this is going to sound obvious, but if you have the money to pay for it out of pocket, absolutely always pay for it out of pocket. This would include if you have family help or if you're able to work a job while you're going to school. You know, a lot of schools have payment plans where you can set up a down payment at the beginning of the semester and you can pay them throughout the semester as you're earning money working. So that might be a solution for you. Now, for a lot of people, that is not a solution. Understandable. School can be expensive. So the next step would be to go to studentaid.gov, and that is the home of FAFSA. FAFSA is Federal Student Aid. And you put in your information. Very many people in this country, they end up getting quite a bit of money through FAFSA. I know it's very common to get about 7,000 or so a year if you're living either on campus or away from parents. And I know a lot of really good state schools that only cost about like 12,000 a year. So you're only going to be paying about 5,000 a year out of pocket, and that 5,000 a year will only end up being about 20,000 or so, maybe more with expenses throughout the entirety of your 4 year stay at school. Now, I ended up going to a private school. It's a little bit of a different story, and we'll get to that in a second. Right now, we're going to talk about other forms of aid, which includes scholarships. There are a lot of schools that give need-based scholarships. You would have to go to your school's website and apply individually for the scholarships. A lot of them are like I said, a lot of them are need-based, and that works well for a lot of people who are really trying to come up with the extra bucks in order to go to school. Some of them are merit-based, some of them are specialties, like do we know any left-handed baseball players who also study psychology? And there are a lot of really different scholarships out there. So I would always apply, 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 and just get it done. Now, as for my school, the private school I went to, and would I do it again? No, and yes. Let me explain. I went to school where I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting, and I've actually been acting here and there. I've studied acting a lot of my life, and I've really made it a part of who I am. And where I went, I got a fine education, but there are little caveats and addendums they don't tell you. First of all, private schools, they're not going to be $12,000 a year. They're going to be maybe $12,000 a semester. It starts racking up, if not more. Um, so at the time, I didn't know anything about loans. I didn't know anything about interest rates. I ended up going to get this is after FAFSA actually. So I got a scholarship from my school that allowed me to go there for a reduced rate. That was really perfect. Two, I applied for FAFSA. I got the FAFSA. I got about $7,000 a year. Three, I ended up getting loans that were guaranteed by the government. Now here's the next thing. Right after FAFSA, which is the free money they're going to give you, they're also going to offer you loans from the government guaranteed up to a certain amount. And these loans are absolutely fantastic because while the loans are guaranteed, but also a lot of them are subsidized, meaning you will not have to pay for any interest of that loan. So that is fantastic, or at least, don't quote me, but that's at least while you're in school. It may be while you're out of school as well. You don't have to pay interest on a loan. Now they're only going to give you that type of loan up to a certain amount. Afterwards, you're going to get a guaranteed loan for about 5% interest, roughly, which is highly favorable. That's why I ended up getting after my FAFSA. I got these government loans. Still, it was not enough for me. through my private school, so I ended up getting private loans as well. And when I started getting private loans, I started getting them at, and you're gonna you're gonna laugh if you know about these things, but I started getting them at 10%. At 10%, I was absolutely killing myself, and I didn't even realize what I was doing. So as I went to school, the interest started building up as I was taking out the loans. And before you know it, the loans were so high, I couldn't believe I would ever be able to pay them off. So I started with the 10% commercial loans. What I did is I got a cosigner, get a friend or a family member with good credit who wouldn't mind helping you out, and you apply to refinance loans. There are a number of really good places that refinance student loans online, and you could end up getting student loans refinanced for like 5%, 4%, even 3.5 or whatever percent, which is drastically lower than 10%. And if you know percentages, especially when you're taking out thousands of dollars, that money is going to build up really quickly. So I got myself in a really bad predicament. So I'm glad I'm getting myself out of it now. It's a lot of hard work. It's moving money around. That is having it refinanced and putting it in different accounts so that it can get refinanced at a better rate. Um, but it's not easy. So if I were you, I wouldn't even get into that predicament to begin with. What I would do if I were you, a lot of people are going to say, well, yes, my school gave me a fine education, but the fact is, there are a number of schools that'll give you a fine education. There are a number of state schools that will give you a fine education. The fact is, for me, it was a status symbol going to this private school, and it didn't have to be. Why pay that ridiculous amount of money for a status symbol? Go to a school you can afford. The fact is, it's not about the school. It's never about the school. It's about what you are willing to put into it every single day. It's about the connections you make. It's about the businesses you start while you're in school. It's about moving forward. It's about internships. It's about becoming friends with your teachers, getting opportunities through them. It's all about what you do and not about what your school can do for you, because at the end of the day, it's negligible, especially when you're paying that much money. So at the end of the day, would I do it again? No, not with that school. I would probably start off at junior college like I actually did. I would figure out what I wanted to do. I would then go to a school I could afford, like a state school. There are a lot of great ones around here, including Cal Poly. There's Fullerton. There's Irvine. Well, Irvine's not a state school, I don't think, but there are a lot of really good ones. And so so yeah, I would go to one I could afford, so that between the FAFSA and the government loans, I would never have to pay another cent. I would never have to get commercial loans. I would never have to get high interest loans. I would just pay for school each year as it came, pretty much taken care of, so that when you're out of school, you are prepared. You have the tools and the ability to do your job, not think about the mountain of student loans that are bearing you. All right, so I really hope this helped. This is how to take care of those student loans. This is how to pay for art school. This is, would I do it again? Not the way I did it, but I would do it again, because the education I got was invaluable. I would just go to a place I could more easily afford. That is my story. I hope that you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Just get it done, and hit that notification bell so that you can get all our new episodes. Thank you so much, YouTube. It's been great. I look forward to talking to you again. Bye.